Hi, friends, and welcome back. Today is October 31st, and if you are in the United States, it is Halloween. That means tomorrow is the start of November, the month of giving thanks. I love this month. I love the reminder it gives us to remember to be grateful for the things that we have in our lives. And you likely have heard of the benefits of having a gratitude practice. There are many physical and mental health benefits, but did you also know that gratitude is actually a spiritual practice? And by living in gratitude, in the energy and vibration of gratitude, it really unlocks a lot of abundance in our lives. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And gratitude actually also has two arms. There is giving, the giving of gratitude, being grateful for things. And then there's also the ability to receive gratitude. So when someone is grateful for something that you said or did or gave to them. And as women, I think we tend to be a little bit more uncomfortable with that second piece, that receiving of gratitude. So we're gonna do a little practice to get some insight on how easily we both give and receive gratitude. So we know where our work is, because when we want to fully open up to the energetic alignment of the universe, we need to be open to both giving and receiving gratitude. But before we move on, I want to invite you to sign up for my newsletter. It comes out weekly on Sunday mornings, and it is intended to be a way of starting your week off right, a way of grounding, a way of having a few moments of quiet reflection, to feel seen, heard, understood, to get an idea about maybe something or some way that you could improve your life and move your life towards more meaning and more purpose. So sign up for that. The link is in the show notes, or you can go to my website, katiefreitas.com, and you will see at the top of the website, the newsletter tab. Just click on that. All right, my friends, let's talk gratitude. Hey, gorgeous souls, and welcome to the Midlife Purpose Project. I'm your host, Katie Farinas, a yoga teacher and soul purpose coach. And just like you, I'm navigating the wild, beautiful, and sometimes messy terrain of midlife. This is the space where we unpack the shifts happening in our bodies, minds, and souls. We're diving deep into the questions that rise up when everything seems to be changing. Think of this as your toolkit for making sense of this powerful phase of life. We'll have honest conversations, belly laughs, maybe a few tears, and a whole lot of growth. We'll hear from experts on topics that matter to you in midlife, and I'll share yogic philosophy that has been helping humans live with more skill and ease for centuries. Because here's the truth. Everything you've been through, every challenge, every joy, every heartbreak, has been training you for this. You're not broken, you're not lost. You're stepping into your power. So come on in, embrace the mess, the beauty, and the absolute magic of midlife. Let's journey together. So, gratitude. Many of you have likely heard about the benefits of a gratitude practice, and there are many, and they are well studied. Gratitude is good for your mental health and your physical health. But here we're mostly going to talk about gratitude as a spiritual practice and as a gateway, a way of unlocking abundance in your life. It's really the key to unlocking abundance, because gratitude is an energy, it's a vibration, and we live in an energetic universe. We are all energy, and we are all vibrating at a certain level, and we attract to us the level at which we are vibrating. So when we vibrate at the level of gratitude, that's a very high vibration, the universe responds and it sends us more things to be grateful for, more abundance into our life. So more creativity, more peace, more connection, more love, more energy, prosperity, all of the things that we really came here to experience. will be sent to us when we are living at the energetic frequency of gratitude. And I say living because often we can have a gratitude practice and maybe write down some things that we are grateful for at the end of the day, which is a beautiful practice. And I'm not dismissing that practice at all. It has so many benefits. But then afterward, and I was guilty of this for many years, I would sink back into my negativity bias, right? I would start noticing all the things that I didn't have that I wanted or that weren't the way I wanted them to be, or the problematic people in my life, or anything that was lack, right? I was turning my attention towards lack. And I know that this is a very, common thing we do. We've talked about negativity bias on this show before, and I will also link that episode so you can go back if you haven't listened and you don't know what I'm talking about when I say negativity bias. But in a nutshell, it is the propensity we have as humans to focus on the negative, to focus on what is wrong instead of focusing on what is right. And there's a very good reason we have evolved to do that, but it does not serve us in our lives. Because when we vibrate at that level, when we vibrate at the level of lack and negativity, that is what we are drawing to us. So we always have to remember we are drawing to us what we are. I think there was a famous quote, and I'm not sure who said it, but that we get not what we want, but we get what we are. And so if we can learn to turn gratitude not into a singular event or something that we do as a planned activity, but as a way of moving through the world, we will attract abundance into our lives. We are training our mind. This is another way of training the mind, right? So all of these practices, all of yoga philosophy is about training the mind. So we're training our mind to see the abundance rather than the lack. And when we do that, we are attracting more positive experiences into our lives. And we are aligning ourselves with higher consciousness. And when we align ourselves with that universal intelligence or the flow of life, we are essentially saying to the divine, to the universe, yes, I am affirming life. I trust in you. I trust in you, the divine, universal consciousness. Again, whatever word feels comfortable for you. But I am trusting in you that you are always with me. You are always guiding me. You are always teaching me, and you are always loving me. And so I'm going to place my faith in you. And that can be hard, right? And again, that negativity bias is a big piece of that. So go back and listen to that episode about what that is and why we all have it. But when you can start getting into this mindset of gratitude, where you learn to primarily live in a state of thankfulness, in a state of abundance, you will see your life transform. And I can tell you that I personally have had this experience. I had a pretty wicked negativity bias for much of my life, and it really impacted everything. It impacted my relationships. It impacted how I saw the world. It impacted my ability to feel happy, to feel joyful, to feel in flow, to feel peaceful. All of these things were impacted by the way I was focusing my attention towards the lack, the scarcity, the negativity, instead of panning the camera of my awareness towards everything that I did have. And in yoga philosophy, there are two arms to gratitude. There is the act of being grateful, so giving gratitude to something or someone, and then the act of receiving gratitude, that people may send gratitude your way. And that's the law of giving and receiving. And yoga philosophy sees life as a flow of energy, right? So we just talked about that we're all energetic beings and we're all vibrating at our own energetic level, and we get what we vibrate at. But energy is always flowing. It is never static. And when we disrupt that flow, our we disrupt the alignment of the universe. So an example of this would be, I should say, the balance. We disrupt the balance of the universe. So a great example that illustrates this point is your inhale and your exhale. So pranayama, if you've ever heard that term, is breath work essentially. So that's when we do certain breath practices. We've done them on these shows. You may have done them in your yoga class. And it's when we move prana, we move that life force energy around the body. And we know that our bodies are meant to inhale and exhale. And if we were to try to only inhale and never exhale, we would be in serious trouble, right? Or reverse, if we were to only exhale and not inhale, once again, that would not work. And that's the idea of giving and receiving gratitude. It's keeping this exchange alive. When you give, you're thankful to serve. When you receive, you're thankful to be supported, and you are exchanging energy in a balanced way. So I want to do a little exercise with you. Let's take a moment, if you can, if you're in a space that allows you to just stop for a moment. And I want you to close your eyes again, if that's safe for you, and take a big deep breath in through your nose, and then exhale it out your mouth. Let's do that again. Take a big deep inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Now just placing your awareness on your breath, just feeling the rise and fall of your chest or belly. Take a moment to bring to mind things that you are grateful for. It could be big things like your job or your home, or small things like the way that your dog greets you when you come in the door, or a simple act of kindness that someone showed you today. But just start to call to mind some things in your life that you feel grateful for. Okay. Now releasing those things, you can open your eyes. Just take a moment to investigate that experience. So I invite you to think about how you felt before you did that and how you feel now, and if there was any change. And I also invite you to think about what came up for you, the things that were popping into your mind that you were grateful for. And were any of them things that you would consider to be unpleasant, challenging circumstances in your life, challenging people in your life, things that you would not prefer? Because if we want to not just be grateful in a moment, but live in a state of gratitude, then we need to learn to be grateful for all things and to be able to see the divine in all things. Last week, we did an episode, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago, on the universal teacher. So, can we appreciate the universal teacher? Can we appreciate the lessons that come with the challenging people, places, situations, and circumstances in our lives? Can we see everything as an opportunity in disguise? So just taking a moment, think about that on your own. Have you ever thought about being grateful to that person who's really challenging you, or that health condition that you're really struggling with, or the some financial upheaval in your life. Can you be grateful? Can you see the teacher, the divine? Can you see the divine in that difficult person, in that health issue, in that financial problem, or any other issue that you're facing? And can you be grateful for it? That's what it means to be living in a state of gratitude. Now, receiving, let's do a reflection on receiving. So, being able to receive gratitude is actually an acknowledgement of our own self-worth. So, take a moment and let's close the eyes again, if again you are safe to do so, and call to mind a time when someone expressed gratitude to you. Maybe you gave them a gift. Maybe you performed a small act of service for them, helping them out in some way. Maybe you spoke kind words to them and they really appreciate it. Or maybe someone just really appreciated you for being you and they told you that. How did you feel? Did you feel squirmy and uncomfortable? Did you want to shrug it off or diminish it? Did you quickly change the subject? Or were you able to fully receive it? Were you able to feel the gratitude and the love that they were sending your way? In the same way that you feel gratitude for other people and situations in your life, were you able to feel that gratitude for yourself? And it is not uncommon that women have trouble with this branch of gratitude, this receiving branch. So I will offer you a journal prompt to investigate this further, because we want to live in that energetic state of gratitude. We want to be able to have that prana flow, to be in balance. We want to be able to exhale, right? And so we need to understand, if we were the person who feels uncomfortable with someone being grateful for us and something we said or did or how we were, why is that? So the journal prompt I'm offering you is: what comes up for me when I receive gratitude, compliments, or help from others, right? So even receiving help from others or compliments from others is a way of another person saying, I appreciate you. You are worthy, you are valuable, and I am grateful for you. Right? So what comes up for me when I receive gratitude, compliments, or help from others? Do I feel comfortable or do I resist? And if the answer is I resist, what beliefs might make it hard for me to receive fully? And how might gratitude help soften that? Right? How can you invite more gratitude into your life? Because receiving, including receiving gratitude, completes the energetic cycle of life. So to resist it would be like trying to never exhale. And the idea of gratitude, this concept of gratitude and its importance, is really there's two parts of yogic philosophy that are really in alignment with this concept, which is santosha. And I've done an episode on santosha. It's been a really long time, but I will find that and I will link that in there. That is one of the 10 ethical guidelines of yoga. And basically, the word santosha translates in English to contentment. So it's gratitude is an expression of santosha. It's being content with what is rather than constantly seeking more. And it's the recognition that everything you already have is enough. And this shifts the mind from lack to abundance. So the next time you are finding yourself in lack or scarcity or negativity, can you come back to this santosha, this contentment? Can I be content in this moment with what I have exactly as it is? So that's a practice, right? That's a practice of coming back to contentment. And devotion, I'm sorry, and gratitude is also seen as a form of devotion to a higher power, as we mentioned. So offering thanks to the divine, to universal consciousness, whether it is something your experiencing is joyful or is a challenge, is a way of reorienting ourselves. I will tell you that for a long time, I personally struggled with this concept of devotion because I thought, why would a divine being care about me and my devotion to them? That seems like a very egocentric, ego-oriented thing. And why would this divine being, this creator of all, this source energy, care about me offering them devotion? And it was because I was misunderstanding the concept. Devotion isn't about the divine. The divine doesn't need your devotion. They don't need anything from you. But when we constantly reorient to the source of all that is, it keeps bringing us back into our alignment. It keeps bringing us back to gratitude. It keeps bringing us back to abundance. It keeps bringing us back to service. It keeps bringing us back to all the things that we came here to experience, as I mentioned earlier in this episode. So it is not about the divine needing our devotion. It is about helping us reorient ourselves to what's really important in this life. So if you can keep coming back to gratitude, that is a form of devotion, and it is a way of reorienting yourself back to what is important. So I invite you over this next month, since this is the month of giving thanks, to take some time to look back over your year and look back deeply, really take some time to delve into your previous year. And instead of looking at maybe what you didn't accomplish, what you didn't check off your to-do list, or the thing that you didn't have enough money to buy, or what went wrong, can you simply rejoice in what you do have? And how many things, people, or experiences are you grateful for? I'll give you another little thing that my family and I do every year that maybe you want to incorporate into your practice, which it's really, really fun. We take cardboard, not cardboard, I guess construction paper, colored construction paper in the colors of the fall leaves, so reds and oranges and yellows and browns, and we punch them out in the shape of leaves. And then every day, each family member writes one or more things down that they are grateful for. And then by the end, by Thanksgiving Day, we use those leaves to decorate the table, or we string them up and we put them somewhere. Each year it's a little bit different, but it is so fun to see all the things that each person is grateful for. And because we're doing it every single day, we're having to really get down to the nitty gritty, right? We can't just say, oh, I'm grateful for my house and my family and my dog and my job, right? We have to get down to really the minutia of life that we're grateful for. And it's just a beautiful exercise. So I share that with you, take it or leave it. But it is really fun, and it's a tradition that I'm very grateful that I started with my family many years ago. So I'll leave you today with a quote from Melody Beattie that I absolutely love. And I would love to hear from you about this episode, what you thought, how you experienced those little investigations that we did during this episode. If anything was unlocked for you, please be in touch with me. Again, I'll put all the links, all the ways of getting in touch with me in the show notes. And remembering that gratitude is a state of being, a way of moving through the world, and not just simply an act we perform in a moment. So this quote I love from Melody Beattie: gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns what we have into enough and more. It turns denial into acceptance, chaos to order, confusion to clarity. It can turn a meal into a feast, a house into a home, a stranger into a friend. Gratitude makes sense of our past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow. Namaste, my friends. I love you so much. Have a wonderful week. Thank you for joining me on this journey of self-discovery here at the Midlife Purpose Project. I hope today's conversation sparked something deep inside of you, made you laugh, or reminded you that you are never alone. Remember, it's never too late to reconnect with your soul's purpose and live a life of meaning. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, rate, and review the show, or share it with someone who could use a little inspiration. It really helps the show reach more women and helps me keep the content ad-free. Join me next time as we continue to explore what it means to live with purpose in midlife.